Hello everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Dreamfall. Get ready for another rant because this is the third time I'm attempting to record this. First time I got my new microphone in the mail, I tested it out, it seemed fine. Not great, and then I tested it out on Camtasia and it just recorded terribly, so bad that I didn't even upload the video. So I took that back, got my money back, ordered a new one. The day is supposed to come, the mailman decides to be an idiot and says, nah, there's too much snow in front of your mailbox. There wasn't. They've been delivering to us for a week, it hasn't snowed in a week. So I had to go to the post office and pick up the mail itself, get a package, come back, and the post office had closed when I was doing this. Open the package, not the headphone microphone I'm looking for, the new one. So it was still at the post office. I had to go call them the next day. I called them at like 10 o'clock, gave them the tracking number saying, hey, it says it arrived there. They didn't call me back until about 2 to finally get this thing. Come back, get this thing, record. It sounds great, record a whole episode. Turns out this new version of Camtasia has a weird audio bug, so both the microphone and the game audio sounded terrible again. So I've been trying to figure this out. Finally, I'm just recording game audio separate from my commentary. My commentary is being recorded on Audacity, like I originally did back in the day. So, that is my rant. Hopefully this will work out and I will not have to record this again. Luckily it's mostly dialogue, but it's dialogue I've had to sit through a few times. Anyway, last time, as April, we met the mastermind behind the Dreamer project. He was a huge, fat dude, and he was a bit of an oddball. Don't really completely know what his deal is. But anyway, now we're back here as April. So let's talk.
Benrime?
So, child, did you find that person you were looking for last evening?
What? Oh, no, No.
What's the matter? You seem distracted.
I'm okay, Benrime.
All right. Well, the day is getting on. If there's anything you need, come see me.
Actually, Benrime, there is something. I'm confused.
About what, child?
I'm not sure what to do, and I would appreciate your advice.
I see. Well, child, I'll do the best I can, though I'm no wise woman. What's wrong?
I think something's going on, something potentially bad. Something involving the balance between the twin worlds.
Ah. Does this have anything to do with that nice young woman from Stark? Zoe, was it?
It may. It does, but I can't tell you all the details. I don't even understand what's going on. I'm just worried that I might be involved somehow.
I see, and you would prefer not to be involved.
I've done my share for the balance, and I have more pressing concerns. People depend on me.
Yes, they do, but that is no excuse.
I'm not looking for excuses. I'm looking for answers. I need to know what I'm supposed to do this time.
Such answers aren't always easy to come by, April. Often we have to rely on faith alone to carry us through. Still, I understand that you want something more concrete than that, April. Very well. Here's my advice. You must speak with the guardian of the balance.
I've thought the same thing, but it's impossible. I can't shift anymore, and even if I could, the Guardian's realm is closed to me.
Maybe so, and maybe not. There is someone out there who might be able to help you.
Who?
An old friend of yours. The White of the Drake kin. The White Dragon.
You're right. If anyone can help me contact the Guardian, it's her. But I don't know where she is. She vanished just after she was born.
You are April Ryan. I'm certain that someone in this city can help you locate her. Have faith in yourself, and in the balance.
I had faith once, Benrime. Look where it got me. What's left of the person I used to be?
I still see the same girl who walked through that door a decade past.
I'm not her anymore. I don't even remember what she was like. Now I'm just...
Well, I'll be damned. April bloody Ryan. I can't believe it.
Who? Brian? Brian Westhouse?
The very same. God damn, I can't believe it's you. How the hell are you?
Hey, it is Brian Westhouse. We haven't... Oh, Get out of here. Jeez, I keep deactivating that, and then it comes back randomly. Of course, I haven't deactivated it on this new computer. Anyway, Ryan Westhouse, we haven't seen him since, well, the viewers, saw him at the very beginning of the game when he sort of made his jump, thanks to the help of those Tibetan monks, but April hasn't seen him for quite some time, since before the Tyrant attack. Remember, last time she came to Marcuria, it was being attacked by the Tyrant, the Chaos Vortex went after her, and she shifted right back to Stark, and that kind of started the end of the game. So, good thing. So we know he survived, that's good, and it's been 10 years since we've seen him. Let's be open.
I'm doing okay. How are you? You're looking pretty good for someone I thought was dead.
Well, likewise. I mean, I knew you survived the Tyrant invasion and the events that followed, but then nothing.
I've been traveling. You?
The same. I've been back to Marcuria a few times, but I've never stayed long. Oh, I reckon the invasion got me thinking about how much I hadn't seen and experienced. Besides, my head was stuck in the bottle, so time was ripe for a change of pace. And a change of pace I got. I've been to the four corners of the world. Quite literally.
So what are you doing at the Journeyman?
Just revisiting old haunts. And hoping to score a cup of Ben Rime's mulled wine, of course. How about yourself?
Same thing. I'm in the city for only a few days.
Well, even more fortuitous that we bumped into each other then.
Well, I almost forgot to say, what Ben Rime was talking about is that, remember, the Guardian, he is Gordon Holloway. The Guardian they thought was going to be April, but turned out to be Gordon, even though he'd been sort of subdued by the Church of Voltec and by Jacob McAllen, who was one of the dragons, who was killed by Cortez, who was another one of the dragons. And he was reunited with his other half, which was the Chaos Vortex, and became the Guardian that he was supposed to be. As for the White Draken, we did see her very briefly at the very, very, very beginning of the longest journey. When April thought she was dreaming, remember we saved the egg and it hatched and the White Dragon came out. But what happened to it, we just didn't find out. So we will, hopefully.
Speaking of coincidences, maybe you can help me with something.
Absolutely. What do you need?
There's something going on, something that may be affecting both worlds.
Why, Ms. Ryan, you seem to get drawn into these things every time. Can you be any more specific?
It's more a feeling than anything else, so I need to confirm my suspicions. Or, preferably, disprove them. I need to speak with the Guardian.
Who better to tell you if anything's happening with the balance? So, why not just shift there?
I can't. I've lost the power to shift. But it was never that easy to get to the Guardian's realm in the first place. So to find the Guardian, I need a little help from someone else. The White Dragon.
Oh, yes. I'd imagine she could give you some pointers.
The problem is I don't know where to find her. She could be anywhere.
Not so. I may know where to find her. I met a fellow traveler, a Dolmari from the Rose Court, actually, on a ship from Gien to Irhad not long ago. He told me he'd been to the Dark People's Library. Not many people are allowed there, and it was a great privilege. While he was there, however, he said that he was introduced to a pale, white-haired woman who introduced herself as the White of the Draken. Now, I don't know if she's still there or how you'll get to the Dark People's City, but it should at least get you on the right path.
It does. Thank you, Brian. This is very helpful.
Alright, some more things to talk about. The Dark People, we saw them very briefly in the longest journey. They gave us the last piece of the stone disc. They also gave us a star map. We were on their ship, and they took us back to Marcuria right before the Tyrant invasion. Or right when it was happening, at least. And we know very, very little about them, other than that. So I don't blame you if you don't remember them. As for, he mentioned the Dolmari. You might remember the blue girl in the last game, who was the navigator that we introduced to Captain Nimbove. She's Dolmari. And the Rose Court is sort of, this is actually coming not from the longest journey, but just from the lore of this whole world. The Rose Court is sort of the seat of the empire of where the Dolmari come from, as well as Nane's people. But we'll kind of get a little bit more into that later.
So you've been traveling for the past decade.
I have, and I intend to keep traveling for the next decade or two, as long as I have my health. This world is fascinating.
You look so much better since the last time I met you. Younger, healthier, happier.
I do feel fantastic. I was bitter and angry back then, angry at myself at being stuck in this world. Now I don't see Arcadia as a prison anymore. I see it as an opportunity to grow and learn and experience. I'd forgotten why I crossed the divide in the first place. I wanted to go where few had gone, where there were still untrodden paths. Losing my home, being forced to run, it was certainly an awakening, and one I sorely needed.
It was good seeing you again. Are you staying long?
Another week, perhaps. Enough time to visit friends and to pick up some things that I can't get elsewhere in this world. Then it's off to sea again. I've been thinking about heading east, perhaps convincing a whale rider to take me along on a hunt.
Sounds exciting. Take care, Brian.
And you, Ms. Ryan? April. Now, I have business with the innkeeper.
Somebody called.
So, how about it, Ben Rime? Do you have a cup or four of your mulled wine to spare for an old drunkard?
As I remember at Westhouse, you still owe me money on your tab from before the war.
My God, you have the memory of a stickman. Miss Selman, I've honestly missed this place. Hell, you're probably right. I owed a lot of people money back then. Seeing as I'm still a bit short on cash, you'll have to add this to my tab. But I'm coming into some gold tomorrow. Old debts repaid, so I'll settle it then.
That'll be the day the Azadi decide to just up and leave. Money first. Mulled wine after.
You're a tough woman, and I respect that. I have to tell you about this tavern I visited in a town near Altaban.
I'm sorry, I just love all the lore in this game. He talks about Altamont, he talks about a few different other places that he's been, and it just reminds you that Arcadia is an entire world in and of itself. He also talked about the stickmen. Remember, the stickmen were the ones who helped us on that weird island with the giant. They were on the mother tree. They go to the mother tree. They were kind of stupid, so I guess they just had good memories, but were just dumb. Anyway, we hadn't finished our conversation with Ben Rime, so let's do so.
I'm sure you will find the white of the kin. You are April Ryan, after all.
Hopefully. And we have quite a few things to talk about with her.
Thanks for letting us stay here. I know you're taking a big risk by doing that.
I accepted that risk a long time ago, April. I could not simply stand idly by and let the Azadi terrorize my friends and customers. This is my small way of helping the rebels. I'm more useful here than I would be with a sword. I just hope that my contribution will have some effect, and that one day our city and peoples will be free again.
You should come east with us, Ben Rime. You'll be safe there, and your skills are needed.
They're needed here, too. And I do not want to abandon my inn or my customers. Also, fewer and fewer are willing to deal with non-humans. If I leave, who leaves next? Soon the city will not only belong to the enemy, it will be populated by the Azadi alone. What then of Old Town and its inhabitants? If no one's left to speak up, I fear the Azadi will simply burn it to the ground, together with everyone inside. So no, April. I need to stay here. This is where I'm needed the most.
Well, good for you.
Heard any news lately, Ben Rime?
I hear the Azadi emissary is worried about rebel attacks on deliveries from the north. They still haven't finished construction on that dreadful tower of theirs. I understand that their empresses, the Six, are arriving for the inauguration. It would probably be a bad blow to the emissary if the tower isn't finished by then.
Good. We'll do our best to ensure that the tower remains unfinished.
Still not sure what the tower is going to be used for, but remember the Six Empresses? We spoke to them when we played as Caden, who is another Azadi back in his homeland. So if they get here and that tower isn't finished, that might get them to say, you know what, this place is a waste of time, let's go. But who knows, they're also religious wingnuts.
Any other news I should know about?
Apparently, with so many soldiers tied up in skirmishes in the north and the east, there will be another contingent coming to the city soon. I've heard that it may contain several thousand soldiers. That would obviously make life more difficult for the rebels.
They're not used to the terrain, the woodlands, and the cold. They can send their whole empire for all I care. They will still fail.
I hope you're right, April. Still, it's never a good idea to tempt fate.
Yeah, that's a lot of soldiers. Let's hope that's just a rumor.
Have you heard any other news?
Nothing you do not already know, April.
By the way, I'm not against religions or religious people, just religious wingnuts.
I hope Bryn hasn't caused any trouble for you. He's a bit hot-headed.
Bryn is a lovely boy. He's been courteous and sweet. He absolutely adores you, April. I hope you realize how much you mean to him.
I saved his life. Or at least I gave him one. He was orphaned and there was no one to look after him.
You did a good thing. But when you save someone's life, especially a child's life, you are also taking responsibility for that life. You may not care much for your own life anymore, April. But for his sake, you need to take care. You need to find something to live for again.
I have something to live for. Revenge.
Revenge is not enough. And it's just another excuse. So the Azadi have murdered friends and loved ones. For that they must pay. But that is not something to live for, April. Nor is it something to die for. What happens when the enemy is banished? What then?
There's no point thinking that far ahead.
Alright, so let's talk about Shawan.
Have you spoken to Chawan about the charms?
I did. And they've already been loaded onto the ship. I believe there were 50 of them, enough to get you through the winter. Shawan seems to have changed this past year. There's less anger in him. He seems more concerned with delivering the supplies than murdering Azadi.
I think he's found some peace in the swamplands. And there's a woman, Ayela.
Ah, I see. It is time he left his past behind, to mourn so many for so long.
If anyone has the right to stay angry, it's him. The Azadi took everything from him, killed everyone he loved, enslaved him, and forced him to join their army.
And yet he decides to leave his anger behind and forge a new life for himself. Maybe you have something to learn from him, April.
I'm not him, Ben-Rene. We all find peace in different ways.
And some not at all.
Wow, Ben-Reme's throwing some salt, but it's some salt that April does need.
What do you make of Naane? She's not been with us long, but she has proven to be an invaluable asset.
An asset? Is this what you call your compatriots? I have not spoken with her much, but she is a skilled artisan. Her magic is strong.
I think she wants to ensure that the Azadi don't proceed any further east. I believe her family holds a high position in the Irhad.
It would make sense for the Sun Empire to rally their armies now, to halt the expansion, but I think the Emperor still hopes for a peaceful solution.
The Six will never accept the hand of a Dolmari ruler. Does the Rose Court think that the Azadi will grant them exemption from their ban on magic? It's naive. And it's dangerous.
So it is. But all we can do is plead with them to see reason. If more Irhadians do what Nane has done, we might change the course of this war.
So Irhad is where the Rose Court is. That's what Brian Westhouse had mentioned before. So I think Nane is a different race that lives in the Irhad along with the Dolmari, but I'm not sure what race she is exactly. But I guess her family is high up in the Empire. The Sun Empire, which is further east, which they're hoping the Azadi don't continue their campaign that far. So yeah, lots and lots and lots of lore, some stuff we already discovered in the previous game, and some new stuff.
I should be on my way.
Very well. Be careful, and may the balance be with you.
Alright, so enough of that. Let's go a little bit further. I already know where I'm gonna end this off because I've done it twice before, but that's fine. I'm perfectly alright. Hey, kid. Hey, it's hard to...
I want to be a soldier when I grow up. with a uniform and everything.
Hey, you're a little retard. Okay, so I don't usually use words like that, but that's a stupid thing, kid.
Why are you talking to me? I don't know you. You're not City Watch, are you? I've never broken the law.
Yeah, people should not be walking around paranoid like that. Yeah. Oh well. Hey buddy, how you doing?
Coldstone Gate's still closed, citizen. You'll have to take the long way round.
Well, why is that? Oh well.
The Azadi have brought their steam technology to Mercury, and now everyone's installing these noisy machines. Balance knows what these things actually do.
Yeah, what are they doing? That's a good question.
What can steam technology do for you? The question you should be asking is, what can it do? And the answer is, nothing.
Well, I have nothing against good technology. I just wish they weren't getting rid of magic to replace it. And we can actually go into Old Town now. We weren't able to come here before as Zoe, because that cart was in the way and it was closed off on the other end. Now we can come. There's a Dolmare right there in front of us. With that blue skin.
Conditions in the ghetto aren't bad, all things considered. We got food and water, and there's medicine and herbs for everyone. What we don't have is freedom.
Well, in my opinion, that's the most important thing.
Old Town's getting too crowded. It just wasn't built to house so many people.
I don't know what race that person is, but there's another Dolmare.
What do the Azadi want from us? Why have they stuck us in here? We haven't done anything to them, and we can't help who we are.
Yeah, that sucks. Wait, let me... There.
Here in Old Town, you can still get herbs and potions that the Azadi have outlawed. They raid the market from time to time, but people are getting good at hiding their merchandise.
That's good.
Old Town's not a bad...
Oh, I didn't mean to...
My friends have all left the city, but I'm staying. I'm not going back into the caves. I enjoy life in the big city too much to give that up.
I guess these people live in caves, although sorry I skipped that first piece of dialogue, but I guess you can...
Potions, herbs, curiously shaped cookies, everything a wizard, witch, or warlock may require, using only the finest organic ingredients, elguan bladders, rat tails, dung.
Who's this guy? Well, if you've been listening to his rants in the background, or if you recognize him,
spells
yeah,
and filters
you'll know
for
who he
premium
is.
quality potions, magical
What's
ingredients,
this guy
and
doing
made
here?
to order charms.
Well, I guess you're just gonna have to find out next time on Let's Play Dreamfall, and hopefully this recording will finally work.
Visit
Thank you for
Roper's
watching,
Spells
and have a
and
good day.
Filters for premium